Hi, this is Zach Meir from Zach's Traders Cafe with a look at the major markets on Tuesday, the 24th of May. Starting off with the FTSE 100, and we're still having to micromanage the TA here, just in this range between 60.50 and 6200. 61.99 is the 50-day moving average, 60.50 roughly the support zones over the course of May, 60.36 the March low. So end of day close outside that range, really, otherwise you're trading that range. The latest development in the RSI window, we remain below neutral 50, even though we bounced off this falling March support line. Probably being below 50 is the relevant part, i.e. in the bearish quadrant, but still basically a neutral picture on the RSI, not really helping that much. Onto the DAX, and here's some signs of help for the TA people. Looks like we're sort of rolling over a bit, at least below the 50-day moving average, 99.61, so that looks like the top of the range. 97.37 the low for May to date, so really in that 200-point range. Multiple failures below 50, but also, I suppose, support points around the 40s area for the RSI, so not really helping very much, but just the hint now that starting to roll over in a negative way, but early days and probably not worth really trying to anticipate. Better just to wait for the break of 9700 or 99.50, 99.60 on the DAX. For the Dow, it's again hanging around this 17,500 zone. 17,399 was the low in March, and really end of day close below that, probably the trigger on that front. As far as going long is concerned, you probably want to wait for a clearance of the 50-day moving average at 7698. RSI firmly below neutral 50 at 43, so that is a sign that we're heading down rather than up. For the S&P, obviously, as you'd expect, similar picture, 2061, the 50-day moving average, the low recently 2025, so wait for a break outside that those two ranges, or that range rather. Initial target, the 200-day moving average, now actually starting to fall at 2010 on the downside. For the Nasdaq, we're still in the same range as before. 4,300 to 4426 is the 50-day moving average. Worth waiting for an end-of-day close outside those two parameters. Unusually sideways for what is normally a very fast-moving market. On to the currencies, and probably not much joy here either, really. Just in a range here for the FTSE, for cable rather, holding on to this uptrend line from the beginning of the year in the RSI window, so that gives it bullish momentum, and holding above the 50-day moving average at 143.66. But otherwise, really not much to say apart from there's a slight upward bias towards that 146 plus zone, given the RSI being above 50. For euro dollar, we're still in a relatively quiet space as well, just holding above the floor of this rising trend channel from November last year, 111.80, the key number there, and 111.02 is the 200-day moving average. So possible intraday spikes down towards that zone. RSI firmly below 40, 39.61, so that gives us a negative drift for the euro at the moment, so probably looking for the 200-day line to be hit at some point, even if only briefly. On to dollar yen, and this is interesting in the sense it looks like we're starting to slide a bit here. We've hit a line of resistance in the RSI window as well, which caused quite a lot of resistance there, and also we've slid back below the 50-day moving average at 109.91, so that looks like the top of the range, 109, around the 110.20 area. The risk of a new leg to the downside. Probably one would wait for an end-of-day close below the 20-day moving average at 108.56 to confirm that we're heading back towards 105, 106 on that market. Finishing off with gold, and here it's all about this neckline support here from February 1240, the number there, and just holding above that. If you're a fan of gold, obviously you'll be buying gold in that zone. As far as a momentum trigger, probably waiting for an end of day close above the 10-day moving average at 1262. But it is interesting that an extended RSI uptrend line has actually been broken quite clearly. That does hint that the next move here could be to the downside. That's it from me. More updates at the same time tomorrow.